Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Maya Jasper-White, the co-director of Celestina. Thanks to all of you who've joined us for the first time. We're always excited to welcome new people. And thanks to everybody who's not new to us and remembered that we were changing from 6 p.m. to the morning. Yay! Thank you. So today we're in for a real treat. It's not that often that we're have the privilege of hearing a full live mini recital, and that's what we're going to do today. So if you want to enjoy the highest possible audio and video experience, we encourage you to go to YouTube Live to hear the performance, which will happen all in one consecutive chunk, and then to come back to Zoom for a conversation and Q&A. We will post instructions for how to join YouTube Live in the chat. If you don't want to bother with that, you're welcome to stay in Zoom. So just know that it won't be as high quality audio and video, but you have that option either way. If you are one of those people who doesn't like the chat, we've made it as easy as possible for you to ignore it. There will be some instructions in the chat about that. Please don't use the chat to tell everyone not to chat. That's not the purpose of the chat box. And again, if you don't like the chat, we encourage you to go to YouTube Live because you won't see it there. But others of us enjoy connecting with each other through the chat. So to each their own, and we've made each option available for you. So with that, I will hand it over to my co-director, Kevin.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Kumar, Maya's co-director. Usually we would do the introductions to our guest artists ourselves. But in this case, we've decided to make it more of a family affair. So I'm going to turn it over to Marissa Winship, whom I'm guessing you all know. And then Marissa will introduce somebody who will then introduce our guest artist.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marissa Winship, growth manager at Celestina. So happy you're with us this morning. So yeah, as Kevin said, it's kind of a family affair, and it's not because I play the bass. As Maya said, this is our 58th happy hour, and it's the first one featuring a double bassist. But it's that I have a long-standing relationship with the bass family through my partner, Ted Botsford, who's a section bass player in the LA Philharmonic, and he teaches François' methods and pieces at Occidental College and Colburn Community School. So I'm going to throw it upstairs to Ted to tell you about that.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me to do this. It's a real sort of pleasure to introduce an absolute living legend of the double bass. I'm lucky enough to call him a teacher, a mentor, and a friend. I've known him since I was 11 years old and have worked with him in very, very sort of closely to kind of learn his method and understand his technique. He's a prolific composer. He's written hundreds of compositions for the bass. You'll hear some today. He's an incredible performer. He's touched audiences around the world, toured around in all kinds of different genres. He's had a really varied and interesting career. He revolutionized bass technique, and that is something that is sort of now taught around the world, but he codified this method in a series of technique books called La Nouvelle Technique. And he travels the world to teach at workshops and perform, and also sort of draws a steady stream of students to come to Paris to study with him. I was one of those students in 2006 to 7. I would have often 3 to 4 hour lessons that would end with a Turkish coffee at his kitchen table that he made. Just to give you an indication of like the kind of generous performer that he is, he celebrated his 90th birthday by giving a free concert that he streamed over Zoom. So without further ado, here is François and his son Sylvain accompanying him at the piano.
I'm going to start with Samir. Samir is the name of my nephew. I like him very much, that's why I dedicate this piece for him. Now I'm going to play this piece, and I like to dedicate it to my son, Olivier. I miss him a lot. He's in New York, and I don't see him often. So this is for you, Olivier.
So we would love to thank Ted's both for Marisa and Maya for their invitation to this wonderful festival of musique de chambre from Los Angeles. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure we are forgetting people also who is taking care of that project, but we don't have all the name. We are really sorry about that.
And now we're going to play for you Espoir. Hope. Hope that the virus go away, definitely. want to play for you Chasse. Chasse, it's a hunting horn, and Chasse, when they play two horns, they respond and they... Ouais, voilà, c'est ça. Vous avez tout compris.
Sevillana, it's a piece. We were playing with. He was mainly playing with Paco Ibañez, his good friend
Singer.
from Spain, singer and guitar player.
Famous.
And and they used to tour a lot in lots of country, and so it was a long period of his life. And we wrote there while we was touring with him in Seville, so we called this piece Sevillana, and it was during the trip we were there. So we would love to dedicate these songs to the woman, to my mother, who is there today, and to my girlfriend Justine, which is in Réunion Island, and to all the women in the world. Why je say it? Because it's Mother's Day soon.
How are you? C'est fini.
C'est fini là?
C'est finito la musica.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you so much. So while we give them a chance to switch from YouTube Live back into Zoom, those of you who are doing both, you probably noticed there's a bit of a delay. I want to share some exciting news, which is that Celestina was awarded 2 significant grants last week. One was from the LA Arts Recovery Fund. This was a $40 million initiative that a bunch of foundations and some private donors came together to help out specifically small to medium-sized arts nonprofits in the LA area who thrived during the pandemic. And I mentioned this not just to kind of toot our own horn, but really to thank you all for helping us to build this community, because without that, we wouldn't have stood a chance with something like that. So it's really thanks to you that we were able to get the biggest grant that we ever have. And it's a real feather in our cap for sure. So we really appreciate your support. So I want to give a special thanks to our community of audience members and our family of members. If these events are worth $470 on average to you per week, that's basically an LA latte, and you're in a position to provide that to this organization, we would obviously really appreciate including you in our family of members. So we'll have some instructions in the chat for how to do that. Membership supports not only the continuation of events like these indefinitely, free to the public, but not free to produce by a long shot. We will continue to do those weekly. We also do 3 times a week virtual bedside concerts at UCLA's ICU at the Medical Center. It's been really meaningful for all of us. Our live season is taking shape. Members starting at the $470 per week level, that's $20 a month, we'll be able to live stream our live concerts for free. So please consider it just for that reason alone. There are a bunch more perks and benefits. And the last thing that membership supports is our Young Artist Program. This season, all 7 of our young composers are participating on full scholarship. We just started rehearsing their pieces this past weekend. Some of our upcoming happy hours will feature them and their work. So yeah, those are all the reasons to support membership. Thank you again for everything you've done to make this community thrive. It's only thanks to you that it will continue to do so. And yeah, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming now.
Sylvain, can you tell us a little bit about your life as a musician? What it is that you do with your artistic life?
So I have a different approach. I'm taking care of my dad's music. So together we will speak to you after that. Lots of stuff going on. I have a recording studio in Paris also, so I have to take care of that. And it's a recording studio and a laboratory of composition and recording and composing with lots of different kind of artists. And I have also an electronic band going on. And my last project I'm working on is soul music melt with Arabic music, with a singer from Damascus, where he's come from. And yeah, so I have lots of projects going on.
Would you mind typing the name of the band in the chat, maybe?
Yeah,
So
for sure. So yeah, but I think all the music and all the different music and all different style of music is helping for each music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great.
It's what he did all his life, and playing with different kind of musician or different kind of singers, and I think it's feeding you. It's feed your imagination and your creativity.
Right. So can you also tell us, what it was like to grow up with, a legendary musician like François, and what it's like now to tour with him?
Yeah, so much stuff to say. I mean, we had a great life, a lot of work. He put me at the bass at 2 or 3 years old with my mother, and at 5 we discovered it was not a good idea to take the same instrument that him. So
Why is that?
I don't know who had the good idea to stop that and put me at the piano, but it was the better idea of my life, I think. And so it was at 5, and after that he take me on stage at 12, and we toured together from 15 years now, and having lots of performance, composition together. And I mean, yeah, I always said I really was born on the good stars, because yeah, I had an amazing life next to him, and musical life. And yeah, it's yeah, I was born really on the good stars.
We were noticing that a lot of the original compositions seem to have stories behind them, and they seem to be very personal. So we were wondering if that's, where the compositions come from. They seem to come not from like some kind of abstract place, but from like a personal connection. Is that how? Just wondering how the compositions come about.
No, but anyhow, most of all the piece that you hear, we was composing that together.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Almost all of them. When I play alone, it's okay. But when I play with the piano, almost it was with him, and it's happened like a miracle. He stay in the piano, I play the bass, and it goes, and everything's come, create little by little. But always, I think when I compose, I think about someone, something, event, and like when I play Picasso, War and Peace, or when I play Odyssey d'eau for the whales, to save the whales. I have always a pretext, and it helped my imagination to develop something, the sound of the earth, from the air, from the whales, from the stars, from anything. I imagine the things, and it's happened, and that's why I call them very special name, right. And I explain always before that I play what it will happen and why and how.
Yeah, now there is a famous South African artist, sculptor, who asked him the new stuff is
yes, the white lion.
White lion.
And he make the stuff. He's in South Africa, and he built elephant, for example, but a real Thai in wood, And he's really a big artist like Picasso, but in his stuff, And he asked me, and he used Odyssey or I think Odyssey for this stuff. And he asked me, now he create in Africa, we must go somebody's the lion, white lion, it's like the earth. So I begin to boo, 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 and it will go from there, from the sound of the lion, how he speak. I don't know how to say, how he scream, and from there it goes different, and we will do it together, I am sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful. François, we have a lot of questions from the audience about your early life. Can you tell us about growing up in Syria, and when and why you moved to Paris, and being a self-taught musician?
Oh, you have time? Oh, I was born in Syria. I was born Aleppo, and my father was banker, and the family was playing the music because my father have much money, and I was very young. I was not born in this time. And all my brother and sister, the older, one play violin, the other play piano, the other play. In a way, my father, I don't know, because of something, he lose the bank, and he give all the money that he have to give. To be honest, he give everything. We become poor. So one day at 11, I say to my father, I don't want to go anymore to the school. I like to work, because in a way I see we have problem. We was 10 children, my father, my mother, my grandmother, it's huge. So I begin to, and one day my father came from the country to Aleppo, and he see my big brother, Eli. He construct a band with 5 of my brother. But they know 4 or 5 pieces in jazz, 5. And he said, my father, we have a contract with a new club, and we're going to play. And I begin like that. They begin to make a tour, and play, and they help the family. And I was having 13 years old when my brother came from not Aleppo, from Damascus, buy a bass and bring it to home. I don't play anymore, any kind of thing in this time. So he bring it, and one day, he came back from Damascus. I was very happy to say hello, because 6 months I don't see him. My brother, I love my brother. He was named Eli. He's the biggest one. He was playing violin, and he said to me, because he have all my 4 brothers, one play violin, one play flute, but he don't have a bass. He bring a bass with him, but he put it in the room. I was in the night they came, and they don't come in the night. They arrive at midnight. The next day, when he see me, I kiss him, and he said, "Go to the room and bring me a handkerchief." Okay, I go to his room and I look, and I see a violin, a big one. Because he was playing violin, but I never see a bass in my life. In Aleppo, this time, 8 years ago, I forgot that handkerchief. I go to somebody, Eli, this violin is for who? Because I know of my brother, each one play as he don't want to force me. He planned to give it to me. I say, if you want it, I will give it to you. Oh, I can have it. He said, yes. Up I go. I took it, and I sleep with her, and the same night in my bed, because I was afraid that the other brother come and take it. I don't know. So it began like that. It's I can say love story. Wow.
That's so sweet.
Comment t'es parti après
So he said to me, "You're going to play it? I put you in the band immediately." I said, "Eli, I don't know how to play it." He said, "Pull the string." Okay, I can pull the string. Any note? He said, "Any note." Anyhow, the bass was a very bad one, because don't have any, and the string was in gut. So fat that when you play, but we don't hear the note. You just, so it's for me, I saved my life because I can do that and nobody can say nothing. So he picked me in the bass, in the band, and I begin to put in the rhythm, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And I begin to earn the money and help my parents to live like the other brother. And we begin at 13 years old in the band, putting the note, any note. And one day, one note happened with the same note with the piano. It was a miracle. Oh, everybody. So I begin, I must happen this miracle more than that. So I begin to see how I can, I go to the tailor each year. My mother sent us to the tailor to make a dress, one dress by year. I go to the tailor and he have a stand, the tailor have stand, and he have a music part in the stand, like, you know, it's like something, you know. It's the blow.
Something for decoration.
Decoration. I look and I see a méthode de contrebasse.
Double bass.
Double bass. Oh, I say I must know how to play it. So what I do, he go to have the meter, you know, to have. I put it in my under my dress, you know, and I keep it like this. He come, he say, put your hand. I say this. Put your other hand. I say this. Put the two hands. I say no, because I am afraid if I do that, the method fall down. So, and she saved my life. It was the Edward Nani method, and I begin to see, because I didn't know the note, the name of the note. I see this note go to this finger. I just put it on. I begin to play the note. Before that, I know the name. And each time that this note comes, I put my finger, the single finger, and that's it. I begin like that.
Et après, pourquoi tu as bougé de Damas et d'Alep?
When
10 ans plus tard.
Yes, 10 years. It was in we come to Lebanon in 44, and in 55. In 55, I decide to come to Paris to go, and because I make so many different fingering in the method of Nani, French bass player, and it was the method of Nani. So I change all the finger. I put the new finger in my, you know, the new technique. I write many fingering different, and I come to Paris to offer to him to say thank you, because I learned the bass just with his method. It was pretentious from my side to rectify all his fingering, but I didn't realize that in this time, but I was offering to him the new technique that I do, you know, but just to say thank you. And when I arrived to the conservatory, they said to me, he's dead depuis 20 years. He was dead. So it was, for me, it was very...
T'as dit que c'était Charles qui t'avait ramené? Tu dis que c'était Charles qui t'avait ramené?
Yes, but to come to... No, in the when I was in Lebanon, when in a way, I was there without any work. But one day, we was accompanying a singer. And the singer, it was in a very famous Olympia, very famous. But when I was in Lebanon, I meet Aznavour, the big singer, Aznavour. And when I play, he came and say, if you come to Paris, just say to me, you are here. It's okay. I was there. I was in l'Olympia. I was playing with this singer, and he saw me. He said, "What you are doing?" I said, we just came, the trio of Rabbath." He said, "You are free?" I said, "Yes, because we don't have any work." And I began to work with the big singer, and he helped us to have all the paper, to stay in Paris, because it's hard in this time. So I began like that in Paris.
Espoir, can you talk about your how you got into your solo recording and how those early Philips albums came about?
Oh, it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story because in a way, I was with Aznavour and comment il s'appelle déjà? C'est ce fameux. I was accompanying Aznavour sur la côte in south of France, and Quincy Jones was in the hall, and he was listening to Aznavour. I was playing with the bow and accompanying Aznavour, but they never see in this time. Some the bass player, it's always pizzicato. It's never so. After he came to say hello to Aznavour, and he said, "You make a record?" I said, "No." He said, "Make me a try, and send it to me." Okay. So I came to Paris, and I go to Philips to say, "I'd like to rent your studio to make a try." He said, "For what?" I said, "Quincy Jones asked me to make a try." "Who?" "Quincy Jones." Okay, he go up, he come with the contract, he say, "Sign here. You don't need, we pay the things, and you sign and you will get the name of this man." Opened the door, but I didn't know that. They hear, "Oh, Quincy Jones, that means he is good." So in 1 week, I must do the composition and make a recording, and in 1 week or 10 days, something like that, everything was done. But I didn't know that at the beginning. I asked 2 different composers to compose two pieces. And they asked me to have 3 pieces to try to say which way I make Désert, the first piece that I write, Désert. And when I give them I make the try, and they hear in the committee, they ask, he say, "This composer, is who?" I say, "It's me, but it's not. I'm not a composer." He said, "This is the one that we need. Make 12, and we record in 1 week." I say, "But I don't know how to compose. I just do that like this." "Okay, do it." 10 days after, the recording, the playback, everything was done. And it was the first record. It was baseball. They call that in States, Sound of a Bass. It was here. The name is Sound of a Bass. It was my first record. It was done very quickly. And in this time, we don't have many recording. We don't have many tracks. We have just 2. So if I make 2, 3 tracks, I must do the first one. And the second one, you cannot cut nothing. Just, you must do that like this. And you copy from here, you copy from there, you copy from here. Oh, it was a big job, but it's done.
Yeah, those are great albums. I think they were reissued not too long ago, right? Didn't Philips put them out again? Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 of them, it's Universal now, who own Philips Records.
The first and second, yes. They still belong to Philips, the Universal.
Cool.
But we have many more.
Yeah,
He's going to release it. I think he's going to release it because it's pretty. It's different. The time is special, you know.
I mean, as a student of yours, I know that we have a lot of sort of admiration for you, and sort of are really thankful that you offered all of your technique and everything to the world. But could you talk about how you got into teaching? I mean, like, what was the, like, how did you start?
Because I begin to, Barry Green asked me to go and make a master class when they hear the sound of a bass. And after the Carnegie Hall, the big Carnegie Hall, I give a recital there. And they hear something that they never hear before. So they asked me to come, and I begin to make play a master class. And little by little, I knew the different bass player, famous bass player like Paul Ellison, like Barry Green, like comment il s'appelle, Proto, and when they see me play, they say, how you do this and how you do that. I say, come to Paris, I will teach you that. But I didn't know how to teach. When Paul Ellison come, and that is fantastic, and he played the German, and I don't say play French, no, German, okay. They play German ball, and he said, how you do that? I said, I don't know. So he stay in the floor, and he begin, in a way, he teach me how to teach, because I didn't know how to translate my knowledge, because I never do that. And a little bit by a little bit, I begin to explain to him, and I found out myself how I manage the thing, and I learned like that. But I was honest. I said to him, you give up, you do what I like, but you must take the risk, because he came for 6 months. He leave the opera, he was in the opera, he left the conservatory for 6 months. He put someone in his place, all the money. He come here and he paid the hotel and everything. So I say, it's a risk. I don't know, you have 45 or 6, I don't know how much in 50 years in this time, or 45. I didn't know, he said, I took all the risks, it's okay. And he was right. I found that in any age, you can go up, till now, 90, I go up, because I don't lose nothing, because I always entertain the things, and it's a hope for everyone to know that at 90 years old, you can play.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is the new technique, I swear. It's not just the traditional technique, it's one way. It's good, one way. But the new technique, it's all the way, including the old one. And in a way, I respected the older, and I took them to bring us. And I always ask myself why I waste all my time to write, because, you know, the editor, Le Duc, don't pay you time to write. No. He'd like to have something to edit, just that. And he give you large 50, 10% when it's nothing, you know. But I say, I don't want to die. Before that, I give all my knowledge for the other bass player, because they deserve that. I suffer for that. I was not having professor, nothing, material, nothing. Now push the luthier to make a beautiful bass, the bow maker to make the beautiful bow, because it's necessary for some people. When I see a small guy come with the bad material, I say to the parents, I cannot play on it. How you dare to give that to your son to play on it? Good, give him a good material. It help him. So I think it's good to be professor. Now you must learn how to be professor. You don't be professor like this. When I have a pupil, I teach them how to profess. I think it's a big responsibility to. You must not dare to be professor if you don't know, because you are the responsibility of the kids, and these kids, it's a life under your hand, you know. So I respect that, and that's why I am good professor. I hold them in my hand. I don't show them how I play good. I show them how they play good, and it's a good professor, the best one, because you know how to do it. They don't know. So how you can help somebody if you crash on him? No. Love him. He is the best. He is the one, and you win. Like Ted.
No. Oh, hey.
He's good. Now, fantastic. So I'm proud. Yeah.
That's lovely. It sounds like your road into teaching is very parallel with that into just playing the instrument in general, just a kind of natural connection and curiosity and taking risks. That's really beautiful. Brian, you had a question for the maestro. Would you please unmute yourself?
Sure. I mean, my question was kind of about like genre and musical style, but honestly, like listening to your stories and seeing some of the questions that are popping up in the chat makes me curious even more about kind of your collaborations with other great musicians, folks like Edith Piaf or Ornette Coleman or something. Like what, in your mind, like what makes for a fruitful, what makes for a great collaboration? What are the secrets that you've found over the years?
The secret it's to respect all kind of music, because not to be square, not to be specialized in one kind, because it's a richness. When I play in the cabaret, help me to have the rhythm. When I play jazz, especially, the jazz, it's a melody. You see this kind of melody. It's like Bach for me. It's the same. It's the same if you know how to do it. But you must know how to do it. You must respect that. You cannot be close just to have classical jazz, this and no. If each music help you to not just to understand, but to be better. When I play tango, it's a dance tango. It's fantastic. When you play folklore of Russian, you must know how to do it. You cannot do ta. That means nothing. That means one help you to understand other, and it's like you cannot eat always chicken. You must eat everything to make a variety. It's the same. I love all kind of music, but it must be a good music, because you have a bad classical music also.
there is I just saw there is our good friend Bob Bowman from Kansas City who is asking, tell us a story about Ornette.
Oh, Ornette.
Hey, Bob.
Ornette, it's a big story, a fantastic story. One day, somebody knocked the door. He knocked the door. I was in, and he found Rabbath. Rabbath. I asked everybody, Rabbath, who is Rabbath? And finalement, somebody said to him, I am in this area, in this. He come and knock the door, and he said, I am Ornette Coleman. What? Ornette Coleman? Fantastic. I kiss him, and he was a little bit shocked, but I kiss him. I said, come. But I was having two small room, you know, at the sixth floor, 2 small room, and he came with the saxophone and with the violin. He took a violin. I said, what is this? No, put it there. He played the saxophone. He played the saxophone, and we begin to play together, just like that, from 4 o'clock afternoon to 4 o'clock in the morning, without stopping. The neighbors go, boom, boom, boom. The police came, and you cannot imagine. It was the best day that, because he gave me a freedom that I have a freedom, because he say, your sound, because he have my record, he found my record in the States, and he come because that's why he knew me. He came to the original because in this time he have the new jazz, the free. It was happiness like that. This is why I knew Ornette, and he become a friend. And each time that he come to Paris, he come to my house, and he show me things and that. And he write for orchestra, for symphonic orchestra. Oh, it's something that he showed me. I was in his house. He showed me that he explained to me. He make it. He came and they play it in Paris in the Opera Comique, but he lose my phone number. He came by foot. He know where. He come and say, "You must come." I say, "I must play in the opera. I cannot come." I kiss him, good luck, and you know, I see him before that he died. He was playing. I have some photo. He was playing pool in his room, and it's the last time I see him. Wow. But he is fantastic. So if you don't know how to, if you are close to this kind of music, how you can have a relationship with a fantastic saxophone player? How? It's that's mean you are the one who loses, not the one who is open. I will not meet him. I will not meet many if I was close. Yes. That's it's kind of me. I like all the good music.
Maestro, can you tell us about your necklaces?
A what?
Yeah. The big, I give a concert with Paco Ibañez, singer, in the Palais des Sports, and Palais des Sports was having, Palais des Sports is 5,000 people. And it's round, and 5,000 people in Palais des Sports. We hired Palais des Sports for 3 days. 3 days. And because if you hire Palais des Sports, that means a lot of money. If it's not full, you will lose your pen. So we hire, and the first day, I make the first part, and he make the second part. The first part, we have a funambule Petit, Philippe Petit. Philippe Petit, he is the one who make everybody know Philippe Petit. We hire him. He was not known nowhere. We hire him to walk to open the show. All the light closed, puff one light for him, and we saw Funambule walking from this side to the stage to the other side.
This is the crazy guy who walked behind the Twin Towers, you know, who was a French guy in front of him.
Yeah. And when he finished, my two battery players, they open the stage and I do the first part. So before that I go to the stage, I see he is going like this, and I wear everything, and then normally this one I put it inside. They push me on the stage, and this one stay outside. Okay, I come, but the sound, the speaker was, 20 meter, 8 inch, because the sound, it must be, I come and I prepare, and it was desert, and I go to play, and this one goes to the bass and goes pow, and I do that. I was furious. I do yes. Everybody laughed. I was having how to say fear. I was having fear, stress. When I see everybody laugh, I say, wow, and it helped me it saved my life in a way. If not, you can imagine 5,000 people around you. So they saved my life. So now I wear them all by. I don't sign a contract without it's Nicholas now. Voilà. This is the story. The story is they saved my life.
I love that. I love that. It sounds like a way to have conquered one's worst fear of ridicule from an audience when you see that everyone laughs and it's okay. You're alive. Everything's fine.
And they don't come to kill you. They come to kill you.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yes, but we are always like that. We are not afraid. It's normal. You must have this fear. It's concentration. If you don't have it, be afraid about that. Because if you have it, it saves your life.
Yeah, fascinating.
Save your life because the concentration is so deep. Each note become huge. Expend the time. You cannot imagine every note you leave every note. When I play every note, I smile because I hear them and I construct the note. I don't make round or oval or if not, you cannot touch nobody.
Yeah, he is always playing each note like 100% of his capacity, and you know what I mean. He's concentrate, and even when we are together rehearsing, just the two of us, always playing everything really deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like looking at him. I'm like, what are you? Why are you crying? And you are so deep. We are just together. And he's like, oh, well, you need to be 100% always. So if you are practicing and doing that now, I mean, it's he's not playing music. It's a real deal.
C'est superficiel.
It's not a game.
C'est superficiel. Be careful. Be careful. Even each note of the scale I play it. It's music. What? No, it's a music. It's a Bach. What is Bach? If you play the first suite, for example, the prelude, it's arpeggio. Da da di da di da di da. It's arpeggio. Everything. The third suite. Di da 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 da. Begin by scales. Di da 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 da. After di da do da da. Arpeggio. So Bach, we play it beautifully with her, and when we play Chasse, and we think about, no, I am sorry. That's why each note must be
A word.
a word. Voilà.
Right. Nice. We'd like to invite Sarah to ask her question. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi. I wanted to ask about meeting Picasso and the collaboration that came out of that.
I came with Aznavour to his Valoris, where he was painting. And when I came, the waiter, who is the garden man, who is making with his things, I thought he's the garden one, and the garden, he took me in the hand and he began to show me the painting. He said, "What do you think about that? What do you think about that?" And this I like it. This is very, very, very bad. This is very good. I didn't know that it was Picasso. I thought it was the garden because he was in the tablier for painting. I didn't know. He was so deeply look at me, and he looked at his, and he said, "This one, he is naive. He see the things with his heart. He don't see with how much money, because I didn't know anyhow how much is money. I don't know what it is." When we finished the visit, but I see Aznavour. When he see me say, "This is bad," he said, but like from far, "Shut up." But I don't know. It's the manager. No. Finally, he took pottery. He said, "This is for you." I look at her and said, "It's very ugly." He look at her. Paul. He said, "You are right." Aznavour was mad, was ill. So we go after. He said, "You stupid, you don't know what is this." I said, "Picasso?" I said, "No, I come from Lebanon. I was 25 years old. I never see hand here and eye here, But when he 90 years birthday, Picasso phoned me, and he said, I like to speak with the honest man." I say, "Who is this Picasso?" I thought it was a joke. I say, "I am President of the Republic." He said, "I am Picasso." I say, I am honored. What's happened?" He said, "You are the honest man, François Rabbath." I say, "Yes." Okay, they make me honored with this, and they're going to make 2 representations, one in Valoris, one in Paris Espoir. I like that you write War and Peace for my drawing in Sainte-Chapelle, in Chapelle in Valoris. He draw in the war. I say, "Okay, I am honored, but I don't know your picture." He said, "I am Spanish, do what you like." Okay. When the day arrived to go to Valoris, one plane complete by singer, I was not the only one. We arrived, we land. Picasso took me. I have the base here. He said, "We go to the chapelle, play." And he took everybody out, and he said, "Play." And he don't look at me, I begin to play. For him, just for him. Before, because everybody was waiting at the outside, with some 100,000 people in the place of Valoris. I play, he was looking. After he looked at me, he went to tear. He kissed me, he said, "I go home." He said, No, Pablo, everybody wait for you. And so after we played here, I played for him. And when we go to the Palais d'Espoir, I was in the middle of the program. The only one who stand up to applause, it was Picasso. And in this, it was more than the portrait. You understand? This is the honest, this is value when he stand up, he said bravo, or alone, and everybody was standing for me. I was playing for the piece. It's more than, you know. Voila. Voila how I knew Picasso.
Incredible. We could obviously ask you so many more questions about teaching, about your experiences, but we know it's late in Paris, and we are so honored that you spent this time with us, both of you. So thank you so much. And hopefully we will meet again somewhere, somehow.
Excellent parents. How are you guys? We love you. We love you. Thank you so much for everything, and we was really happy to be part of this festival and really enhance. Thank you so much for everything. We are really happy to play for you guys.
Of course. Thank you, everyone. And please join us next week at 6 o'clock for a really special reprise of our, actually, it's funny, we ended with a Picasso story, art and music, night at the museum too. So
6 o'clock in LA time?
LA time.
You know that
it's me now. Yeah.
You know that I write a book of all the story, and Hans Sturm are working on. Hans.
He's writing a book.
A book, and he put my book on.
With a story, and he's doing an amazing job for the life of François.
Yes, he was the one who make art of the bow, art of the left hand, and now he is writing the book. You are crazy, man.
We love you. We love you all. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, and good night. Bye, everybody.